first seen this Southeast Portland house, you might have wondered what resides inside of it, or who might reside inside of it. Well, meet Patty Merrill.
Bananas. Hi, my name is Patty Merrill, and this is my pink temple. Does each room have a different theme? I'm not a theme decorator of sorts. I pile it in here and then hope I find a place. I never think of in terms of buying something for a place. I just think I'm buying something or getting something because I love it, and then I work it into this space. And because this space is so huge, it accommodates all my whimsy and my spur of the moment whatever that I get into, my new directions that I go. I do have a little art studio that I made during COVID. And I was taking ceramics at Morning Ceramics for a long time, but then COVID happened, and so I switched to paper. Paper is exciting. For me, it has a lot of the same characteristics as ceramics. It's like you can dye paper, you can burn it, you can sew it, you can do a lot of things to it to manipulate it, and it has some of that same excitement. When you take some out of a dye bath or whatever, you just never know what it's going to turn out like. We bought the building from the Masons in 1996. There were only 3 Masons left, and you had to climb a big ladder to get on the roof to clean out the eaves and everything at least 2 or 3 times a year, and they couldn't do it anymore. The Masons bought the building in 1952 from the telephone company. It was the first telephone exchange on the east side of Portland, and it was built in around 1914. And it was, when we bought the building, it was painted black with white trim, it was heavy, and also the Masons added this sort of, we call it a cheese grater. It's this corrugated metal on top of the roof. They added it at some point while they were here, and they wanted to attract younger members, and it's so sad because they took off all the trim off, and so it would have to be lovingly restored and it's more money than we can afford. I started my import business in Mexico, and it didn't work out because everything I bought would get crushed because they came by truck and they'd unload it at the border and then just kind of throw things in, and then charge me a bunch of money, and it was all broken. So I decided to switch, and I went to Asia. And one of the first places I started to import from was China. And I went over there. It was really a long time ago. You have no idea what 23 years ago China was like. But anyway, so I went to China first, and that's when they had all they had was old stuff. They didn't have anything that was new, and it was pretty wonderful. And I would just come back from Shanghai with these suitcases full of stuff. But I also imported some incredible doors, and I have some in my house. Some of my favorite doors are the ones on my closet. They're just gorgeous. I have never seen doors that I think are more beautiful. And then I also have, I have some old Tibetan pieces, which it feels great to have Tibetan pieces in my home that are the real thing. And someday I hope to give them back to Tibetans. That's how I kind of feel. I feel like I'm just holding things for people because, cultures didn't really value their things so much until we started buying it up. And then everything switched. So, hopefully at some point, my things will find their way back to the people that actually made them, that culture. What do I hope for the future? I hope it's always here, or as long as as it hold up. It's such an incredible building. It's built so well. When the car ran into the corner and wiped out the structural post, we thought, oh no, what's going to happen to that? The whole that part of the house, and it's nothing. It's just level. It didn't budge an inch, and I just really came to appreciate how incredible this house is as far as the structure and just all the energy. There's been a lot of groups in here besides the Masons, the Rosana Krishnas, the Science of the Mind. I used to run into people all the time that told me they'd been, drumming circles. They've been in this building for different reasons, and I think it has picked up all that energy over time, and it's just been really loved, and you can tell that it's been loved. I hope the next people, I hope that they'll have enough money to take off the cheese cutter on the top and replace the facade the way it was intended to be or was. And, I just hope that they'll continue to take care of it and, just not over develop or remodel it.